everyone.
Hey guys. Hello. Oh my god. Hi. How are ya? Welcome back to another episode of the Boss Ravioli Queens with your two favorite caregivers, Nicole Ravioli.
Boss Lady Amy.
So, you want to do the shameless plug before we get into this?
Why, certainly.
Dink.
Okay, hi, hello. If you're new here, welcome. We're the Boss Ravioli Queens. We have 21, right, years of experience of caregiving between the two of us. And Combined.
Because I feel like we would be really old if we had 21 experience.
That's true. Combined. Yeah, that's a better way to say that. Anyway, in healthcare, caregiving. Hello. If that doesn't tell you what this is like, just keep watching. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, we do episodes on all things caregiving, healthcare, trending topics, how they relate to healthcare, caregiving, and yeah, you can go listen to our old episodes, the audio-only versions, anywhere you listen to podcasts other than Apple. And then you can also go back and you can watch all of our old videos on YouTube, and you can also stay tuned with us as we release a new video every week. We decided to start this podcast because lack of caregiver advocacy.
Mm-hmm.
So come on this journey with us as...
You can say advocacy, but you couldn't say caregiving? Your brain and my brain. They're screwed.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
We're not okay, but it's fine. Anyway, come on this journey with us. Laugh, cry, question life, sanity. Ours, yours.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. Shameless plug over.
Dink. So, this episode is called Not Your Average Apple Turnover. I'm really proud of that, even though I probably shouldn't be.
It's a good title, it's fine. Yeah, so. Turnover.
Airdrops.
Sucks.
Yeah, so this episode we're going to cover, why there's such a high turnover rate, and also, like, how odd it is, like, the different jobs that ex-caregivers go to.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're everywhere, but you would never know unless they tell you. It's one of those kind of situations.
And then it's funny because usually, like, their mannerisms and their quirks and stuff often make a lot more sense once you're like, oh, you used to do caregiving. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yep. Where to begin? So, I think that we've said often enough, we're broke. We're broke. Like, living paycheck to paycheck, no matter if we get raises or not, because the raises aren't sufficient enough unless you get, like, a very high title in a company. In which case, then, yeah, great. But
And the sad thing is that the company that we work for is actually, like, very competitive.
Mhm.
Like, they pay very well, but it's just the field itself. You're always going to be living paycheck to paycheck, unfortunately. That is one of those things where if you're choosing to be in this field, you are choosing a life of living paycheck to paycheck. It
a life
sucks.
of servitude.
But that is kind of, I guess, the thing that comes with making a difference in other people's lives.
Yeah, and, like, again, you can tell who's there for the paycheck, which I really can't understand at this point. But you can tell who's there for just the paycheck and who actually cares. Because the ones that are just there for the check do not last long.
No.
They don't.
And we actually talked about that in our last episode, where we talked about Death of a Resident, and we kind of went into, like, because you could tell. You could tell. But anyway, go back and listen to that episode and you can hear all about it. Also, I am so sorry. My dog is so whiny. Just...
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
So, Pay, I would say, is like the number one reason, but really close second is burnout. Because since there's such a high turnover,
BRB.
it's fine. We're probably we're always struggling to find help. So like we work a crazy amount of hours all the time until we get like that lull period where we're kind of sort of fully staffed again. But again, with the high turnover, those people usually aren't there for long. So then we're getting pulled to other places to help or what have you, or called on your day off, hey, can you work these hours at this house because they don't have any staff, da 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 da. Like it's a vicious cycle.
What drives me crazy is like when you agree to pick up all these different hours and then somebody gets hired for that position and then you get booted out of all of those hours and then that person doesn't work out, or like sometimes they don't even actually make it to orientation, or
that part.
Or they come to their training, then they never come back.
Or they fall asleep in their training class.
Oh God.
Rumi had a couple of those, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then like you'll get a scrambled call from somebody asking like, "Hey, can you please take these shifts back?" And it's like, "No, I'm sorry. I made other plans because I wasn't working anymore."
Yep. And then my favorite is when they give you the, okay, or like they're mad at you because they took your hours back.
Mm-hmm.
No, my friend, I'm allowed. Like if you tell me that you don't need me, expect me to not be there then.
Like when I get notified that there is a new hire coming to my program, it probably sounds really bad, but until I have worked with this person continuously for about 3 months or so, they're written off in my mind. And I know that that sounds bad, but it's like once you have been jaded so many times, you're just...
It takes a while to get used to new people.
Mm-hmm. And because I have so much experience with like these wonderful people that are like, yes, like this is the team I've been waiting for, you're definitely gonna work out, only to find out that they're just a total snake, and then you're like, too good to be true. And that's how I've found, like, when they're too good to be true, when they love to work and they love to pick up and they're sweet as pie, it's usually not gonna work out. It's because usually it's a front. They're trying to cover for something. And I have found that, honestly, it's usually they want my position. I have been told so many times, specifically on like new hires' first day, they tell me that they could do my job, or like in a very roundabout way, like, oh, I want to work my way up to your job. And it's like, okay, you can work your way up to like a job equal to mine somewhere else, but like, honey, this is my program. You're not getting my specific job. And it's kind of sad the amount of times that I have dealt with that.
But like also to the people that think they can do it, no, you can't. No, you can't.
Like, it takes a really special person, A, to be in caregiving, and then it takes an even more special person to be in management and caregiving. And it's like, okay, yeah, sure, there's a few more bucks an hour involved, but you're getting paid for the headache.
And like, thank God you're not in residential anymore, because when you're in residential and you're in management, you do not have a life.
No.
You don't. Like I said, those lull periods that don't last for very long where you're fully staffed, sure, live it up. Take your weekends, love them, live them, laugh them. Like, it's wild because after that lull period is over and you start losing your staff, all bets are off. You're working all the time. You're working your regular shift on top of whatever shift needs to be covered and then doing it all over again the next day.
And just to be clear, this is not just like a where we work sort of thing. This is
Everywhere.
all healthcare everywhere, universal, worldwide.
Well, I mean, I'm sure
International.
everybody's got Facebook, and if you see like the nurse reels that are supposed to be funny, they're joking, but they're not.
Right.
They're not.
It's a way to cope. It's dark humor.
Mhm.
It's a way to make light of a really poopy situation because we have both been stuck for hours and hours and hours and you know that turns into literal days because people have called in or people quit on the spot.
Or my favorite, the no call, no show.
Yeah.
My favorite. That was my favorite call to get was, hey, Nicole, so-and-so didn't show up for night shift. Can you come relieve me? Hey, can you give me a couple hours to sleep because I literally haven't slept yet? Because I was intending on going to bed right now to get up for tomorrow's morning shift. No, I really can't stay tonight.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I gotta sleep a little bit first, man.
Mhm.
Like,
And at that point, then that staff gets mad at you, and then they want to switch houses or quit altogether. So it's, like I said, it's a revolving door.
yep, and it's like
It's a never-ending cycle.
Like, my manager never helps me out. Okay, it's not my fault that somebody didn't show up,
And it's also not you working the shift.
right. And it's like, it's not. I'm not telling you no. I'm telling you that you need to stay a little bit longer because I am coming in, and because I'm coming in, I need to prepare for that.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a wild time.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. Like, I remember coming here to spend the weekend, and you had your, I think, Friday night off, and then Saturday was kind of iffy. You had to go in for like a couple hours. And then that Sunday, when I was supposed to be leaving and going back home, you got called in for like a 12. And I ended up like going to work with you for a little while and then dipping from there.
I vaguely remember that.
We got Subway. I remember that.
That sounds right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because you were like, Subway breakfast slaps. And I was like...
I was just about to say Subway slaps.
I was like, okay, you keep your breakfast for yourself. I'm going to get a regular sandwich.
Oh, I do. I remember you saying that now.
Mhm.
That's really... Okay, but yeah, Subway really does slap though. And I don't know why. But their breakfast does slap. That's unrelated. Anyway.
That's unrelated.
You know, I think we should kind of like dive in a little bit to the habits that you develop when you're just like working constantly because you know that like nobody's coming to save you.
You always go to the gas station and get more drinks and food and snacks than you need because you don't know if you're going to get stuck or not. It's always fast food because you don't have the energy to cook at home, nor do you have the time to meal plan because you're always working.
And I can't even tell you how many times I have like fully stocked my fridge and I've spent hundreds. Oh, excuse me. Thank you.
That's it again.
Thank you. I've spent literally hundreds of dollars on groceries only for everything to go bad because I don't even have time to eat it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you end up buying like ultra processed foods because that's the only thing you have time to make, something where you can pop it in the microwave. And yeah, you just feel like crap all the time.
Even mac and cheese is too much sometimes.
Seriously, when you are in the thick of it and you're just working, like the closest that I used to come to that was I would buy like the cup mac and cheese.
Yeah, the microwavable ones.
Yeah, I wouldn't even do the boxed, even though now it's like, yeah, that's no problem.
I used to get the Velveeta mac and cheese cups all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Those were my favorite thing in the entire world for a long time.
So I used to, so like when I knew that I was most likely getting stuck at work, my favorite thing to do was to buy one of those big bags of pizza rolls.
Yep.
And then like after I knew like the overnight person wasn't coming in and all of my members would go to bed, I would just like pop them in the oven and just like chill on the couch.
Those and bagel bites though. Like the pizza bagel bites. Oh, those used to be my favorite on Knox too.
Yeah.
I don't understand. For context, her dog is licking the air conditioner vent. Hey, sir, you probably shouldn't do that. Anyways, so to get a little bit more back on track, because while that is a part of it, that is a very valid reason to not want to work in healthcare anymore. And this again isn't just caregiving; it's healthcare in general.
Right.
Like I'm sure most, if not all of you, have seen the nurse TikToks and Facebook Reels where they're like, "Oh, working my 6th 12 in a row," or like, whatever. It's a common thing for there to be a high turnover in healthcare because we work a lot.
And I also think that like not enough people realize that that's not just like nurses. That extends to other parts of healthcare as well.
Very
and not
much
even
so.
just caregivers. I mean, I'm talking like
Your X-ray techs.
I was just gonna say imaging, labs, I can't think of anything else.
Like
but
the good thing about working in a clinic instead of
Crisis
like
workers.
the ER or like a hospital setting is that the lab is only open until like 4:30, 5 o'clock. So you're going home every day at 5 o'clock. But if you're anything hospital, ER, residential caregiving, assisted livings, X-ray techs, CTs, respiratory therapy, like all of those things,
24/7.
24/7.
Because
and if your
emergencies wait
replacement-
for nobody.
And if your replacement doesn't show up, you're stuck. You're literally stuck.
And even daycares, like even though they're open during the day, I only worked at one very, very, very briefly. It was horrible. That honestly, we should probably do an episode on that. But even that, they would seriously schedule me like 6 a.m. to like 5:30 p.m. constantly.
Just shy of a 12.
Yeah, and because it wasn't a 12, they were allowed to do it like multiple days in a row.
Mm-hmm. He's weird.
He think my dog thinks he's a cat. He really does.
Mm-hmm. Anyways. More talking. We can't just stare at your weird dog.
Anyways, yeah. So I know that this probably really sounds like we're trying to be like, I'll leave the field, but no. We're dedicated.
I'm a flippin' lifer, and I don't
Same.
even want to be anymore.
That's the funny part, is that same. Sorry, he was about to dig in the garbage. Anyway, yeah, I am also a lifer, and I do want to be, but I also don't. But I say that more jokingly because it's exhausting. But at the same time, I know that it's my calling, and what else am I gonna do? Like, this is what I'm doing. You're normally not this extra.
It's only when we record, dude. It's and that goes for my dog too. Like, I'm sure those of you that have been with us for a while remember mine and my ex-roommate's dogs. Like, we had to apologize for them all the time because they would go nuts after so long of not being allowed to be around the camera and whatever. But it's only when we record. The instant we shut the camera off and we stop trying to do something important, nothing.
They ignore.
Nothing.
They're like, bye.
See ya. He looks very intense right now.
Yeah.
You got crazy eyes.
But yeah, I have known, so before we started recording this episode, I was actually just talking about how I feel like it's fairly common for caregivers to start their own like in-home daycares.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of them will say, it's like, okay, I get to decide the rates. I'm in charge of my money now. Like, I get to decide my hours. Like, I'm in charge of that. I get holidays off. I get weekends off. Like, the kids are out of my house by the evening. Like, I'm still taking care of people, but like I'm in control now.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I feel like a lot of caregivers his paws are like this.
I know, and so are his ears, and he's just looking around ever so thoughtlessly.
I feel like a lot of caregivers, like when they get really, really, really burnt out and they leave the field, they often go to jobs that are like, I have this strict schedule, like I leave at this time, like I'm not doing anything else, I'm not getting stuck on a 12, like nope, like when my shift's done, I'm going.
Or like the flip side of that, like caregivers who open their own caregiving business.
Yeah.
That happens a lot too, especially adult family homes, because the limit is 4 and there's way less state regs for adult family homes. So caregivers will oftentimes try to start their own business as well.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it works or not is another story, especially if you go in with someone else, because like generally there's some sort of like wedge that's driven at some point, and then you separate and you get this half and I get this half and da da da.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there it really, really depends just on how good at managing your business you are. As far as caregivers who leave the field completely, like some of them go way left field. Like, I personally thought I was done with healthcare for like 2 years, and I went through bartending.
Lol.
I was a bartender, I was a debt collector, and then I was a factory worker, and I'm a caregiver again. Surprise!
Fun fact, I also briefly left the field. I didn't really. For a little while there, I transitioned from, instead of adult, like family homes, to like children's group homes. Essentially the same thing. I worked with, like at-risk youth, kids that came to like back and forth between juvie, kids that faced homelessness, like whatever. Anyway, I was still in the field. I mean, I was still caring for somebody else. It was just during that time I wasn't doing direct cares, because that was a big no-no. Obviously, we were not allowed to touch the kids by any means. It was a total hands-off facility, so we didn't do any of that stuff, and they didn't accept anybody with like disabilities or deficits, so we couldn't take care of anybody like that if we tried, because we didn't have any members like that. So yeah, I did that for a little while, and I really loved it, and they closed down, and then I was like, well, I need a job ASAP, and caregiving is one place I know where I can get one like tomorrow.
Yep.
So I did. I applied to a place, and I literally got hired on the spot, as I knew I would.
That's how it's been in literally every caregiving job I've ever applied for, especially after you have like a minimum of 2 or 3 years under your belt.
Oh my god, yeah. Once you have a little bit of time, they're like, all right.
In the door with you.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as you interview well, for the most part.
Yeah. And like most of the time, if you have like even the tiniest shred of experience and you're a decent worker, a lot of the times they're going to try and talk you into like moving up the ladder. Usually they'll even mention it in the interview. They'll be like, hey, if you're interested, we got this position open.
Well, that's the thing with me, is like it's never taken me long.
Yeah.
To move up the ladder, ever. Like when I did, I can't say names of things, and you don't know the ex-boyfriend that I was with at the time. Like, you know, I've told you about him, but you've never obviously seen pictures or anything.
Yeah.
So I was at that job for like a month, and I talked to my program manager, and I was like, hey.
Is that the one where you commuted like every day?
Yes, but not like my very first caregiving job. This was only like, I don't know, 6 years ago probably.
Oh. Okay.
so I'd only been working there for like a month, and the house that I was over didn't have a manager. And then, so it's weird because the program manager, the program manager would have been me after I got that job.
Mm-hmm.
And then they called them program leads. So that was the one that was over like a couple different houses.
Yeah.
Like I said, a month. And then I put a little birdie in his ear and I was like, hey, new girl. And I was. And I did. They
You gotta be careful with that.
They set me up with an interview with him and like one of the bigwigs. And the other guy was like, yeah, you seem like a really great fit for the position. And I was like, you've asked me like 3 questions, bro. What do you mean?
Yeah,
either I just interview well or what? I don't know.
You gotta watch out for those major like desperation flags, like when they need somebody to fill that spot ASAP. And they're like, okay, this, that, done, you're hired. And it's like you feel so good at the time. You're like, oh, like I put in the work, I earned it, and then later you're like,
what did I do?
Like my qualifications are that I can breathe and that I have a heartbeat.
What did I do? What did I do? And that house was a disaster. I made it better, but it was a disaster.
Yeah.
Why did I do that with my voice at the end? A disaster.
I will say though, if you're struggling, or like if you are, I guess this would be kind of like on the flip side of the coin or whatever, and you need a new field to get into, or if you struggle with like housing or whatever and you just need a job, like as long as you're a trustworthy person and you can pass a background check, like,
and you're not going to be a B or a D word to the residents.
Like seriously, you can get one tomorrow. I mean, we need help.
We need help. Come
like
help
seriously,
us.
We need help. The field needs help. Caregivers, like, we need help. We're struggling.
Mhm. And maybe like stick around. Don't just quit after like a month.
Yeah. That's the worst.
It really is.
Especially like when you're at a facility where the residents are like with it and they start to like
get attached,
know you and like kind of remember you, and then all of a sudden you just like drop it one day, and then everybody was like, where's that person?
And then we, the staff that are still there, have to be like, oh, they don't work here anymore.
And they're like, oh, I really like them. And you're like, yeah, me too. Not so much anymore, but you don't tell them that part.
Mm-hmm.
Just the first part.
Yeah. I don't know. What are other jobs that caregivers leave to go to that are like left field?
Factory work.
I already said that. Or like your hubby said, screen printing.
Yeah.
Screen printing.
Yeah. Screen printing. Which like our area specifically is huge for that. We have a ton of screen printing places around here.
I once knew someone that became a welder after they did caregiving.
I feel like those more like physical jobs usually start earlier in the morning, and if you are someone who like really needs that routine, and say you did like the day shift for a lot of your time in caregiving, which is usually 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. or 7 to 3, I feel like a lot of people are totally okay with the hours, even if it's like more physically straining work.
That part.
Because it's that routine. It's that that consistency.
Side note, I've yawned 3 times and y'all would never know. Kept my mouth closed.
I was gonna say I've become an expert of doing that. Doing it with my mouth closed. I haven't done that in a long time. I feel like I haven't been in a setting where I've needed to. Because like I used to do that in school all the time.
That one we might notice when we watch this back. That was bad. My eyes went weird.
Oh, another one. A lot of people I have known have left caregiving to go work with animals.
Yeah. Yep. Like vet techs.
Vet techs, or just like working at like an animal shelter.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's kind of.
It makes sense.
You're
just
caring for somebody.
animals
It's just
instead of humans.
Yeah, seriously, going from caregiving to either daycare or like an animal shelter or like vet tech or whatever is fairly popular because you still want to care for somebody, you just want to do it like in a different way.
In a different setting.
Homeless shelter is another one. I've known people to go work in homeless shelters because, again, it's not that different. You're just caring for somebody in a different way.
Right.
I mean, besides, I don't know, like office settings, like I've known people to do that.
Yeah, like going into like a clinic or like a home health office and doing like clerical work.
Yeah, I've known people to do like medical coding, or they've left to do like patient services representative.
Yeah, I had a couple of friends that did the MA program.
Yep. Oh, I've also known a lot of people that leave caregiving to do phlebotomy.
I got that backwards.
Yeah.
I literally went to school for it. You don't even have to go to school for it anymore.
Nope, not since the big C.
David.
You do not have to go to school for it anymore.
I wasted 2 years of my life in school for something that I don't even need to go to school for anymore.
I feel like at some point that's going to start happening more and more. Like more things that you need a degree for right now.
Okay, if you really think about it, like way back when, like my dad, for instance, was a CNA, but they didn't have to go to school for it. It was on-the-job training.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was grandfathered in when people did have to start going to school for it, and he still never had to go to school for it.
Yeah, I feel like as like this is like totally off track for 1 second, but I feel like as the U.S. Department of Education changes things, I feel like more like certifications and more degrees and things are going to require less, and more jobs are going to start becoming a little bit more lax with some of those regulations.
Yeah.
That's just...
It's not good.
That's, yeah, unrelated. But anyway.
Like, how would you like for someone who has never been to school to be an RN to just be like, yeah, I can start your IV? Totally, bro.
I actually worked with a woman. This made news like all over our state. I don't know if it made like national headlines, but I know for sure the news went all over our state. But I worked with a woman who actually stole the nursing license of somebody else.
Ooh.
Like she pretended to be somebody who actually was a real RN, and she had like started nursing school, but she dropped out, and then she like pretended to be somebody else with a real nursing license, and she ended up getting a job at the place that I worked.
That B word, the J.
Yeah. Yep.
You never gave me that, T. You just said that she was a fake nurse. You never gave me the T on that. I'm salty.
We'll talk about it later.
Okay.
But yeah, so she ended up working alongside me, and like I
Being a horrible human.
yeah, so it was not great. And I know we're off track still, but there was so many times where we would just all look at each other and we would be like, there's something not quite right there. But like none of us could put our finger on it, and we just, I don't know, we thought she was like eccentric, but we didn't think that she was just like straight up not a nurse. And yeah, I will never forget when she had to ask for help for putting in somebody's IV, and she like had to go get another one of like the veteran nurses, and she had to like walk her through it, and the nurse kept saying, she was like, I just don't get it. She was like, IVs are one of the first things that they teach you in nursing school. She was like, I'm not understanding how you don't know how to do an IV. And she kept saying, oh, it's just because his vans are super rolly. She just kept being like, oh, it's just because they're super, super rolly. And then, if I remember correctly, I think after all that, because the nurse that was like showing her made her do it, like she didn't do it for her. And if I remember correctly, I think she still put it in wrong. I think the nurse still had to fix it for her. Yeah, it was bad. So it made a lot of sense when we found out that she was not a real nurse.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, that was crazy. I did not do a mouth close, John.
You did not. I don't know. What are other reasons for turnover? Let's just visit that and make sure we got all of them down.
I mean, pay for sure. 'Cause
being burnt out.
Yeah. I mean, even when there is competitive pay, you have to remember that a lot of these places run off of federal grants.
Mm-hmm.
And there's only so much to go around, A, and B, also with the current administration, a lot of that stuff is up in the air right now. There's a lot of places that are totally run off of grant money, and we don't know if they're going to be around in the next few years.
Especially considering, like, most of that stuff isn't even supposed to start until his first term is over. Or
right.
His whole term. His whole term or his first term?
Good question.
I think first term.
Don't know. But yeah, and I mean, it extends outside of healthcare. Like, my son's school is completely grant run. And it's terrifying because, like, the grants are the reason that he gets a free breakfast every day. The grants are the reason that there's an after school program. The grants are the reason that they get the most updated electronics. Like, there's so many different things, and it's terrifying because we don't know what that means.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to affect us at some point too.
Huge. It's going to affect us in a huge way. And our residents as well. Like, with the whole Medicare, Medicaid cuts, just that alone could cripple all of this.
Yep.
All of what we do.
Yep.
And, like, then there are going to have to be kind-hearted people who still take care of these people for nothing.
Yeah. And I mean, everybody's got bills to pay.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, definitely, for sure, like, the pay, and also just that, you know, that sense of stability. And not even stability as in, like, the hours, but more so stability of, like, again, you know, being, a lot of these places being grant run, you never know when that funding is going to run out.
Yeah.
And so that's another thing, like, just making sure that you're in an industry that is always going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, the burnout. Being able to spend time with your family. Like, we spend so much time with these people. We see them more than we see our own families. And we end up taking care of them better than we take care of ourselves.
Which, again, is why, like, the death of a resident hits hard, especially if it's a smaller scale place that you work.
Mm-hmm.
Because the more you're there and the more time you spend with them, they really do become like family to you.
Exactly.
And, like, of course, you still have to have your professional boundaries, and everybody understands that. Does everyone follow it? Absolutely not. There are plenty of people that cross boundaries that they shouldn't. But at the same time, it's like grieving a family member. It's the same thing.
Absolutely. And, you know, I think that...
And, like, that is also, I feel, a cause of turnover is when you just can't do that part of the job anymore. Like, to see people pass all the time is hard.
Well, and especially, like, depending on where you work. Because if you work in, like, a memory care unit or, like, a hospice unit, you're gonna see people pass a lot, and it really sucks. And then, like, odds are if you're working in a place with, like, younger individuals, you're probably not going to see people pass as much.
No.
But because of that, it's going to hit that much harder because usually it's unexpected when that happens. So it's really hard.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was actually a really good informational episode. I mean, all of these are, but that one specifically was, like, it definitely came from the heart because the resident would, like, just recently passed, so it's definitely a pretty raw
It's
episode.
still recent.
Yeah.
Which sucks.
Yeah. It's still very recent, but at the time of filming, I think it was only like, what, maybe 2 days?
Something like that.
Yeah. But, yeah, honestly, if you're new here, I think you should go back and listen to that episode because it is a good one. And we did talk, like, we went pretty in depth into a lot of different things.
Mm-hmm.
As we always do. But,
Man, we try.
yeah, even when we get sidetracked, but we really do still try and, like, really get into the nitty-gritty of this job. And, I mean, really that's the whole point, is to, like, welcome new caregivers, and also to those who aren't in this field but are curious, like, this is what it's like. This is what we do.
Yeah. And, like, the amount of people that really don't have a clue is wild.
Mm-hmm.
Because you see, like, your keyboard warriors and, like, whatever, posting online, like, oh, it's not that bad. You don't have to do that much. Or, like, I remember this one time I got into it in the comments on a video. Of course I did.
This woman,
Dude,
she,
I don't hold my tongue, ever.
she sends me screenshots. I'm like, Nicole got into a Facebook fight again.
I did. I like to bully a lot of people that deserve to be bullied. Because they bully other people and think that they're good at it. But I'm, like, 10 times better. Like, the one guy who called me fat, and I said, that's funny coming from a guy that looks like he has fleas and lice. Anyways, there are a lot of people out there who really have no knowledge of what we do, and that's pretty sad because it's a well-known career. Like, it's not just nurses, it's not just CNAs, it's not just anybody. Like, as a whole, we are the medical field.
Correct. Well, and
it's
that's,
a large spectrum.
Like, that's just it. As a human being, at some point you're going to require some sort of health care, whether it's you have a surgery or your wife or husband or whatever is a caregiver or a nurse or whatever, or, like, anything. You're going to have a grandma or grandpa that eventually gets old enough to go into the nursing home.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no matter what, healthcare is always going to be involved in some way, whether it's yourself or somebody that you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, because of that, like,
keep going.
This dog yells.
Just keep going.
Because of that, like, you gotta at least have some respect for caregivers, even if you don't know anything about it. You gotta at least respect what we do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, that was the Facebook fight about that. This was years ago, by the way. Still remember it like it was yesterday.
Of course you do.
So this guy was, like, in construction or something, and he was talking about, it was about stay-at-home moms, I think. And I said something along the lines of, while I'm not a stay-at-home mom, I'm a caregiver, and that kind of doubles. It just depends on what kind of caregiving you're in.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you don't have to, like, be gentle with anything. You don't have to really take care of anybody other than yourself and make sure you're not going to hit somebody else with, like, a piece of lumber or whatever. I said, you can even throw your tools when you're upset, because we know men have big emotions. And we also know that men hate being told that they have big emotions. I am such a troll. Anyways, I said, when I get frustrated, you know what I do? I hold it in and I smile, because I can't show that I'm frustrated. when I need a break, you know what I do? I still stand by my residents and hold their hand if they need their hand to be held, or I change them, I feed them, I do their laundry, I cook for them, I pass them their medications. I don't get a break unless I can step away for like 5 minutes.
Caregivers, I tell my husband all the time, caregivers are angels on earth.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously.
I agree.
I don't know why we feel this calling, but we just do. It's the...
Dude, I tried so hard to leave and I just couldn't.
I know. It's the strangest thing. It's like you're drawn to it, honestly.
We're the healers.
Yeah. Honestly, I really can't think of any other, like, jobs that people go to, but, I mean, I feel like we've given plenty of reasons as to why people leave, but...
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe before we wrap this up, we should give our reasons as to why we stay.
That's a lot to unpack, my friend.
Give it, like... What are your 3 mains?
Can I do 4?
Yeah.
Okay, so number 1. It's like all I know. I started, like... right after I got done with school for phlebotomy, so I was like 20, 21 when I had first started. And I always tell people that it was like just meant to be, because while I was waiting to hear back about like 1 or 2 jobs in phlebotomy, I was like, I can't wait anymore, like this is taking forever, I need to find a job. And then I had heard of this caregiving company around my hometown area and decided to apply for them. I got the job and I just fell in love with caregiving from that point on. Like, I've never not loved my job. I have not loved the companies that I've worked for, but I've always loved my residents.
That's so hard.
I know.
Leaving them.
Leaving them is so hard because you know that you're not going to be able to go see them. Like, you can't just pull up to the house one day and be like, hey guys,
Yeah.
did you miss me? Like, you can't do that.
Nope.
So that also is another big reason why I stay with caregiving in general, is that, like, I am a fixer, and I can't exert that into my other, like, relationships and friendships and things, and it's taken me a really, really long time to get over that, okay? She knows. That's why she's laughing, is because she knows. So being in like the caretaker role is my calling. It really is. So what was that one? That was 2, right?
Yeah, those 2.
Okay. The other thing is, like, I don't think I could go back to like a mundane job.
Oh no.
Because other things feel very mundane to me after caregiving. Like,
not anymore.
Each day is so different, even though it's the same routine, there's always something different happening each day. Same people, different attitudes. Different attitudes.
Same people, different attitudes. That's so true.
Mm-hmm. Different levels of care day to day, because you don't always have residents that stay the same level of care every day. You really don't.
Seriously, every day is so different. The only thing that stays the same is that you're going to the same place every day.
Yeah.
Nothing about it will be the same as it was yesterday.
Nope. And number 4. I had it. I did. I really did. Coworkers, actually.
I was gonna say relationships with coworkers.
Yeah. So we've talked about like making friends with your coworkers and whatever, and like obviously there's some people that you should not make friends with.
Nope.
There's some people that you just can't trust.
Nope. We also talked about that in the last episode.
We did. So like, as we all know, Amy is my person. Okay.
Hey.
While I do have other friends who are caregivers, we're the closest out of everybody. So, and there's a reason for that. So we just like hit it off when she was my boss. Came in one day, trauma dumped on her, and we were like best friends ever since. We've been
That
best
sounds
friends
really bad.
ever since.
Okay, but I also trauma dumped back.
Exactly. We shared a moment of trauma dumping on each other.
And it was really funny because we were both like, huh, this is weird. You're really easy to talk to. And then it was funny because we both shared that, and then we both were like, oh my god, I've been told the same thing by everybody.
Yeah.
And then I was like, we were both like, huh.
Are we the same person?
You're like, did we just become best friends?
Did we just become best friends? Those are my 4.
Okay, well, I have 3, because I mean, but honestly, I share all of that same, like, experience and thoughts or whatever. But my first one, I'm mama. Like, I obviously have kids, I have pets, but also, like, I'm just a motherly person. I'm mama, in and out. I've been mama for years, even before I had my own children. I used to have friends that, like, would call me and my husband, well, now husband, but at the time boyfriend, like, they would call us mom and dad, because we argued like an old married couple, even well before we were married. And, like, people always go to me for advice, and it's, like, I've been told my whole life, like, you talk like you are an old person with, like, 80 years of wisdom.
Me too.
And I'm definitely not that old. So yeah, it's really funny because one time I was working and one of my coworkers said, did you ever imagine yourself to have 12 children? And I was like, no. And she was like, well, if you don't want more kids, you don't have to worry about having more because you got plenty. And I was like, yeah, you right. So, yeah, that's my first reason. My second reason is I love that in caregiving, you get to be anything you want. Like, besides, obviously, like, in between your rounds when you have to do cares. One day, if you want to rearrange a room and you're like, I hate how this looks, you get to play professional organizer. Or one day you're like, you know what? We're gonna do an activity. We're all gonna become master chefs. We're gonna learn how to make this cake. And then sometimes you also get to do the not so fun stuff, like you get to learn how to be a plumber or an IT person trying to teach the members how to use their TVs. But no, seriously, I love that, like, you get to be anything you want. You caregiver, homemaker, baker, chef.
Dude, we are all multifaceted individuals.
And, like,
all of us.
Yeah. And especially, like, when you get to like marry your worlds, like your personal and your professional life, and you get to take something that you get, like, to do outside of work and bring it in like a professional setting, it is the best. So, like, you know, we're both trying to, like, do drag, and around Halloween, I love to bring in my makeup for my residents and do, like, spooky looks, and they love it. It is so much fun, and I'm really good at makeup, so, like, it's so much fun, and I get to do that sort of thing all the time, every day, and it's a ball. So that's my second reason.
Also, last year I got to do makeup looks too.
Yeah, and you're probably gonna help me again this year.
Okay. Make sure you tell my boss.
Okay. Good deal. And the other one is just, it's my calling. I can't do anything else. I get so excited at the thought of, like, if I see a new restaurant and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna take my residents there. And, like, honestly, it's probably bad because my first thought is usually taking my residents there and not my family. But it's like, I get so excited seeing the joy that they get from like my presence and my ability to, like, bring them a little bit of connection to the outside world is just, it means everything to me. And I really just don't think I could do anything else. I mean, if I really had to, I would make it work, but it's my calling.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are my 3.
Also, side note, I absolutely loathe driving them places. I like the actual outing. Whatever we do for the outing, I love that part because it really does make them so happy.
Mm-hmm.
And like seeing the literal pure joy makes you happy. It would make anybody happy, honestly. But the driving is what gets me because of the vehicles that we have to drive being so large. I dislike that.
Yeah, it's kind of poo.
Yeah. But the actual outings themselves are really fun usually.
These flies are driving me crazy.
Yeah. Don't worry, they're all gonna perish soon.
Ah!
We're getting to that time of year. Oh, but the Asian beetles though.
Ugh.
I don't want the Asian beetles. They can all go away forever.
Alright. Closing thoughts.
Come be a caregiver. That's my closing thought. I literally have said so much. I don't think my brain has anything left at this point. Is that your closing thought? Finger guns.
Yeah.
Okay. Till next time. No, just kidding. I have to do the thing. Julie,
Do the thing! You paused and I was like, wait, are we not doing it?
We are. I almost forgot about it. That should tell you that my brain's done. We've had enough. You can find us on Facebook and TikTok at Boss Ravioli Queens. You can also email us, bossravioliqueens@gmail.com. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you want to see us more and every time we post a new episode. And also, please leave comments. We enjoy reading and replying. Even if we suck
Even if
at...
you're a keyboard warrior.
Yeah, that too. But even if we suck at looking at them right away, because honestly, I need to work on that.
That, but also, like, hello. This is literally what we do for a living. Like, you know how busy we are because we just talked about it. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Usually-
we do get to it eventually. We always do.
There was one that I replied to from like a year ago. I was like, sorry for the late reply. My bad. Was it the fly? Was it getting to you?
No. It's just that was just embarrassing hearing that.
From a year ago?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sorry if you're listening.
To be fair, though, we still had that other person here, and I really wasn't doing anything because I wasn't posting the episodes, so I wasn't taking the time to go through and check.
Oh yeah, because we just had a period of not feeling it.
Yeah.
I know that we've already done
an
episode on that, but I feel like we need to do another
Part
one.
two.
Part 2, yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
Until next time, friends.
bye.